Okay, good morning, students. So we are going to start with Maya ZBrush pipeline, and then we're going to see why Maya and why ZBrush. When to use Maya and when to use ZBrush. Okay. So the base mesh, whatever we are seeing, see the base mesh here, that is there in MetaCap. So this base mesh you have to create in Maya. The entire model can be created inside the ZBrush. But if you know Maya and ZBrush pipeline, the base mesh, so you can create your base mesh inside Maya, and then you have to take that particular mesh to a ZBrush. Then you have to start with the detailing part. Inside the ZBrush, this is expected from you. See the detailing. This is expected from you. So you have to do this kind of detailing. See here, this is base mesh and this is your detailing. I'm going to switch off this wireframe so you can see better. See here, the edges now. See the edges. See, it is much better and sharper. See the beveled here. So it is possible. See the edges around. See this edges. This is the base mesh and this is after your detailing thing. Same here. See the MetaCap and see the detailing part. This is what expected. Okay. Next, one more example we can see here. In this particular example, see the MetaCap. See the low mesh, the mesh inside the Maya. How much the detailing is needed, and then what you have to do is you have to do a little bit of sculpting inside a ZBrush. And what is happening here? We are not importing the entire mesh. We are just importing the map. What is that map? That is a normal map. We're just importing the normal maps. Whatever we are doing inside the ZBrush is just to generate a normal map. Okay. What normal map do? It generates a depth. Basically a depth, illusion of depth. It is not there. If you see here, nothing is there. It's just creating an illusion of depth. See here, nothing is there. If I just switch off this thing, see, nothing is there, but it's just creating an illusion of everything, the depth and everything. You can see the wrinkles, the carvings. It's just creating an illusion of that. Okay. Same here. This is the base mesh. The entire model can be created inside Maya or ZBrush, and then you have to import your low mesh, and then you have to apply your normal map, this map. And you have this, and after applying normal map, you can see the detailing part here. See, you can see the rock, and each and every detailing, it is visible. So you have to do this. So the mesh is not heavy and it is easily renderable. That's why. So this can be taken into a movie or inside your game engine. So the character can run fast and the lighting can be done faster with the lighting and rendering can be done faster. See here. This is your low mesh MetaCap over here. See the wireframe. See, this is very, very low mesh. This mesh you have to take into a ZBrush, then we have to apply this detailing part. Okay. So, this is all about your ZBrush, Maya ZBrush pipeline. And also we have other maps also. If we go to the final render, you have albedo, specular, glossiness. All this map we're going to create inside Substance Painter. Okay, we're going to have a separate class for that. Right now we are interested in creating a normal map. Okay, yes. See this also. You have a MetaCap. This is scan data. And this is the final render, but this is all your scan data. See the diffuse, there is not much more difference. This is just in scan data, okay? See this, even though it is scan data, but how the work is done. See, this is the low mesh. Okay, I'm going to switch off this and see the high mesh. See the detailing now. See the edges and the detailing. So this is what we have to achieve. Okay, we are trying to achieve this thing. We're going to achieve this thing inside Maya and ZBrush pipeline. Now, the basics. We are going to cover the basics of ZBrush. Okay, what is the model? How to take the models? So we have this. We have light box here. So you can have like initial base mesh. So you can take any base mesh, whatever is required. So we're going to cover the basics, how the things is done. So we're going to see what is masking, what is transformation, how to duplicate the things, how to remesh. Suppose the entire thing, if you want to make everything inside the ZBrush, okay, we don't want to touch the Maya. So how to do that? So we're going to see a basic of that right now, okay? So I'm just going to take my default sphere, okay? So it is there. So right now we see one more dot over here. That is what? That is your reflection. So for that, you have to activate X. To on off transformation or reflection or projection, you have to press X. There is a separate tool for that. We're going to discuss in detail. There is a transform here, and inside here you can activate this, which area you want, X, Y, Z. Suppose if it is having a circular shape, so you can activate the radial and you can have a count. Like right now, I can take it to 15 or let's say 16. Suppose if you have a pot and see, it is going like this. I don't want that. Just click here. It is there for you. And I don't want X, I want in Y. See, it is there. And suppose I don't want this brush. I want something else. Say this one, deco. I'm just going to decrease the brush size and now see. Check it out. This. Okay. Something like this. We're going to do everything in great detail like this. This is good for the circular objects. Okay. This is all about your symmetry, how to activate that. Now we're going to see the masking part. For masking, what you have to do, we have to press Ctrl to activate the mask. See, the mask is written here. So just click and drag. So it is selected. The mask is selected. If I press W and symmetry is already activated, I'm going to switch off the symmetry using X key. And if I try to move this now, so it is going to move from here. I don't want that. Okay? I want an opposite thing. So just press Ctrl and click outside. So it will be going to act oppositely. So you can move the upper area, but I don't want from here to control. I want to control it from here. For that, you have to unlock this lock. You have to unlock and then you can move it. This thing. And then once again, you can lock it and then you can just drag it like this. Now it is straight. See this. Okay. Done. I'm going to press Q to come out from that, and then it's done. Press Ctrl and click outside to switch between the mask. So now this area is active, and I'm going to activate once again my symmetry and see now. Got it? Press Ctrl and drag it. So it will going to what? Disappear all your mask. It will going to hide all your mask. Okay. Now, once again I'm going to use active symmetry, and I just want to soften that edges here. Got it? Okay. So that is all about your masking. Once again, suppose I want to mask and I am to paint that particular mask. See, you can paint that. But this particular geometry, if you press Shift F, so you can see this is very low mesh over here. So suppose if I want to subdivide that particular geometry, so just come to the geometry and you have the option of dividing the geometry. So you can just divide 1, 2, 3, 4, like. And then once it is divided, and now if you just try to mask that, so you can have like smooth masking over here. I'm pressing Control and I'm just trying to drag that thing. So it is there for you. I'm just masking the area which I want to sculpt. I don't want any other area to get affected. That's why I'm masking. Okay. Once again, I'm going to press Shift F. So this is normally visible, and I'm going to press Control and click outside to switch between the mask. And once again, suppose I want this to be subtracted, or you can press Alt and then you can just use that. Increase the intensity and then you can just try this. So it will not going to go outside from this particular area. Once again, we have move tool. We have even if you have if you can use some sort of scaling here, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to once again unlock the mask. Okay, unlock the mask, take it to the center, once again lock it, and from here just try to scale it. Got it? How to use it? Okay. Once again, just come here, press Control and click. It is going to soften the mask. Just press Control and click here. It's going to soften the mask. Okay. Like that. And what we can do is we can just go to deformation, and from here you can say inflate. See here. You can inflate. You can add some noise. Little bit of noise. You can little bit rotate that thing. See this? Little bit. You can rotate. You can skew. You can whatever. Suppose if you want to add some gravity. See this? You can add gravity. If it is some trees and branches, so you can just add that. Some melting object. It is very easy to do that. Okay. I don't want to do much. Okay. Okay. Press Control and click outside and just drag it. Press F and you can see. Okay. So once you have done your modeling process and everything is done, suppose if I want to add something if I want to add some another object and continue with that. So what you can do is you can just go to Subtool. You can append that thing and you can import whatever you have. So you can add some external data, whatever you want, some rings, cube, whatever. And once again, it is there for you. You have to go there and you have to select that, press W and you can move it, that particular ring. Okay. And you can just resize this from here. You can just resize that. Some initial shapes are there. If you want, you can import your own shapes. Using Maya, you can import your shapes and you can use that. there are some initial shapes are there. I know you're not satisfied with that. You want many other shapes, so you can directly import using FBX. Whatever we have seen in our last lecture, so you can append from there also. So you're going to find that all shapes inside that particular area. Okay. So now what we need is, suppose this thing, I'm just going to once again duplicate this thing. See here, you have duplicate option, duplicate. So you have a different layer, and this I'm just going to take it down as a base. Okay. And I'm just going to rescale that. Control Z. You can translate, rotate, whatever, using a transform tool. Or if you suppose if you want like this only, you can just add. Okay. Activate that. Just activate the solo. So you have only visible. You have like you have just visible object. Just make it solo. Once again, what we're going to do is press Control, take a mask, activate the mask. Okay. Click outside, scale it, unlock it, take it down, press Control and click, just soften the mask. See, the mask is softened. Okay. And then once again, just scale it. Press Q, W, Control. Just try to move it. Okay, we have locked that, unlock that. We have to lock it, and then we can just scale it. I'm just going to take it out a bit. See. Okay. Click outside and just deactivate the solo thing. So you have this. I'm just going to move this particular object. For that, I have to select that particular object and then just take it here. So accordingly like that, you can add as many objects you want. But now the challenge is, what the challenge is, suppose if I want to merge all that particular object, so how to merge all the object together and club it, so I can sculpt that thing together, like, if you want it like everything to be together. So how to do that? We're going to see now how to club or merge all the object together. For that, the same thing, whatever you do inside your Photoshop now, merge down option. So we have here also. So suppose if you want to merge this to this, so you can just say merge down. You have the merge option here. Okay. So just click on merge down. So it's going to merge these two objects together like this. So same thing I'm going to do here also. So just click on the merge down. Just click on the upper layer and say merge down. Same thing. So now everything is together. But now, see here, what is the challenge now? So we have different mesh here and different mesh here. Like basically your there is a low mesh over here and high mesh here. Now if I just try to, if I just go to geometry and if I try to subdivide that, so that is now, it is very difficult now. It is going to multiply this and it will not be in that proportion, right? So that is the issue. So how to tackle that? For that, you have to say, in the last session, whatever we have done, you have to go to Dynamesh. Okay, just click on the Dynamesh, increase the resolution, and then just click and drag outside. Done. Simple. So now you are ready to sculpt further. Same thing you have to do. So right now I'm just going to press Shift F and now I am ready for the sculpting. So take this Clear? Activate the Sculpt Pro. And same thing you can do here also in the bottom. See. Clear? Now see the focal. I've just changed the focal to, let's say, 75, and now see the difference, previous and now, see. And suppose if I shift that focal to minus, or let's say minus 70, negative focal, now see the difference. So this is how you have to use Dynamesh. Simple, done. Now the next challenge is, I'm just going to add some little bit of detailing here. Using some clay build-up, we're just going to add some detailing. I don't want that much intensity. Just add something here. Okay. Just a clay build-up to just soften that area. I don't want that this thing to be visible. That's why I'm just adding something like here. Okay. And then we can start this sculpting the things. Okay. Suppose if you have some shapes or some alpha, if you want to add, you can add that, or you can import the data. We have seen in our last session, we have imported some shapes. So we have seen in our last session. So you can import that particular shape, and you can use it. For using that particular shape, you have to use drag feature here. This is a revision from the last session. So you can just drag it like this. So don't have to go and create each and everything. So it is there for you. So you can have like different shapes and you can use that shapes. With the lower intensity, I'm just trying to drag something, this particular shapes. So you can have like multiple layers of something like this, okay? So it will going to look organic. It's up to you how you're going to use that. So now we have completed, or we have done our sculpting, okay? So the next challenge is low mesh and high mesh, and then the projection inside your substance, okay? So right now we're going to see how to generate a low mesh and high mesh, okay? The projection part can be seen in another session or might be in the next session, okay? So we're going to see how to do that. So for that, what you have to do is just once again, just go to the subtool, search the subtool, just click on the shift and click so it is visible. And this particular thing, I have to rename that. This is our high mesh, okay? High mesh. So just duplicate this, and we have just once again rename that, and we have a low mesh. Just say high mesh and low mesh. Okay, so we have just renamed that. Renaming is important to know exactly what is happening to your thing. So this is my high mesh. Off kar do, just switch off this layer and just turn on this particular layer. And now press Shift F and see how the things is going on. For creating a low mesh now, you can see a different color is there. Press Control key, Control Shift, or just press Control and you can select like press Control and just click here. See, whenever you press Control now, the mask is got activated, right? And from here you can change what kind of mask and what type of mask it is needed. So if I just try to take a lasso, mask lasso, and I'm just going to switch off my this transformation tool or symmetry tool using X. Press Control and just activate your mask like that. Shift F and just check it out. Press Shift F or Control F. Control W to generate that colorful. Basically, this is your subgroup. Just press Control W. Same with the upper area also. It is easy for this particular thing to how to calculate the things, how the match flow should go. Just for that. Otherwise, it will going to generate its own just to get the basic idea. Even if you use this particular thing like a basic mask or circle or pen, square, that's also okay. See this, if I just use the square, that is also okay. If I just click here and I can just generate the square, that's also okay. So you have mark, pen, you have lasso, you have curve, circle, you can generate that. See the circle. See this. Press Control W and it's there. Same here also. Just drag it from the center. I'm just going to drag it from here. Control W. So it is there for you. Now, so what we have is, we have a high mesh, we have a low mesh. Okay. Press Shift F, just see here. Now what? Simply you have to go to the geometry, go to the ZRemesher, and you can just generate it. It is going to generate according to your basically your whatever the group you have created. It's going to generate according to your group. Simple. But sometimes it is not going to happen. Okay? So you have to use another method. Okay? Tacimate and decimate. First, we are going to directly check this thing. If it is not happening now, then we are going to tacimate and decimate. Another method we are going to use. First, this method directly we are going to see. So there is a target polygon count. So you have to come to the ZRemesher. What is ZRemesher? Whatever the high mesh you have. Suppose if you want to retopology that thing. For retopology now, you have to use a ZRemesher. So just click on the ZRemesher. Set the target poly count. So I just wanted 5. I'll say adapt. Adapt size you can increase. And then you have to click ZRemesher. But we have created some groups. So we can see, we can just keep groups, and you can just say ZRemesher. So it is working. Let's see how it creates. Okay. What is this? We are going to create a low mesh version that is going to be imported inside your Maya or game engine, wherever you want. Okay. So this is what we are trying to create now. $80, 90%. See, it's done. Press Shift F and check it out. See? Got it? Simple. This is what you're trying to do or achieve inside the Maya. So we have done that thing inside the ZBrush only. So even if you just directly want to start your journey or any model inside the ZBrush directly, so you can do that. Okay. So this thing I'm just going to explain in detail. This is just a basic thing. I'm just going to explain in detail also how to achieve that thing in detail. In our next session, we're going to do that. Okay, let's see. Shift F. So we have high mesh, we have a low mesh. And then we have to just project that data. Now, what is needed is you have to export both the data. So naming is very important. Okay. You have to export separately each data. You have to export separately. So whatever the high mesh is there, you have to take the group of that particular thing. Okay. Just make sure it is visible. So first I'm going to export the high mesh, and then we are going to export the low mesh. So check it out. Go to Z plugin, FBX import and export. Click on the export button from here. And today is 23. So we have high mesh _A. Just save it. It is going to export for you, writing the data. So whenever we are working on a ZBrush, and suppose if the same processing is happening now, don't touch that. It is directly going to crash the software. It's just directly going to be like invisible, and suddenly it will going to be like Mr. India. You know, it will not be visible. It's directly going to shut off. So just try to complete that stuff, and then see it is still showing something. Yes, it is completed. Now you can touch. So this data, once again, I'm just going to click on the Z plugin. Once again, make sure the selected is clicked, not the visible, not the all. The selected is clicked. Right now we need a selected thing. I'm just going to export that. So see the name, the low mesh name is activated and it's there. I'm just going to click A and just save it. Done. For Substance Painter now, taking this particular thing to Substance Painter and basically projecting the data, we have to project our high mesh data to a low mesh data. For that, UV unwrapping is needed. So that thing we're going to cover inside the ZBrush only. For the detailed UV unwrapping and ZBrush, we are going to have another semester for that. Okay. But for the basic thing, we can just going to explore inside the ZBrush how to do it quickly in our another session. Okay. So let's check it out. See the size. 250 MB, 624 KB. So what is the idea is, whenever you open this 624 KB file now, it must look like it is 250 MB file size and all the data and everything will be there. But that is using what your normal map. So that is the process. So we are going to continue and in our next session, the entire thing, how to unwrap the UV and all the process we're going to cover in our next session. And I'm just going to save this particular file, Maya ZBrush file. I've just pressed Ctrl S. Today is 23, right? 23, 7, 2025, A. Plus, you have to save it from here also as a tool, save as. So it is going to save as a ZBrush tool also. Mesh. ZBrush tool. So save it as a Maya ZBrush file. Save it as a ZBrush tool. Plus export your low mesh and high mesh before leaving and before shutting your system. You have to do these three things. Okay, otherwise I'm not responsible for anything. Okay, done. Thank you all.